What's up, everybody? Welcome to In Love with Horror. I'm AJ.
And I'm Christy.
And y'all, welcome to our live discussion of everything that we watched in April. This is something that we like to do at the end of each month where we go over all the movies that we watched in the previous month. And this is all movies, not just horror, because we like to watch a little bit of everything.
We do.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, as we go into the summer, there's a lot of dope movies coming out that we'll be tuning in. So this gives us a chance to talk to y'all about, all the dope films that are outside of horror, because there are some good ones, and there's a lot of good ones coming up in the month of May and June. Going to the summer, it's gonna be some fire movies that I'll very much look forward to our Everything We Watch discussion. So make sure y'all are subscribed, because at the end of May we're gonna have some dope films to talk about. A big one being Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
You are super excited for that one.
Super hard. Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, man. I think it's Proximus Caesar, whatever that dude's name is, the main villain.
Yeah.
That dude is dope.
Yeah, he seems like it.
Apes will learn. Like
you love that trailer.
That trailer is amazing. Yep. What a beautiful day. Come on now.
You should be an actor.
That's dope. Anyway, y'all, again, welcome to, we're live right now. I don't know if we got any people actually joining us yet.
Corey from Wilkie's Movies and Music did say he'll catch the replay, but wanted to say hi.
Okay,
so
dope.
shout out to Corey.
Yep, shout out Corey.
We're actually going to be on his channel next month. Next week, actually, I think. We'll be talking about Tourist Trap. Tourist Trap.
Okay, dope. Yeah, so make sure y'all are tuned in for that. But to all the people that are watching live right now, what's up to everybody? Thanks for joining us.
Mike is in the building. Thank
what up,
you,
Mike? What up?
So hyped to have him here. He's like a found footage guru. So if y'all want to know anything about found footage, Mike is your man about that. But yeah, so we didn't watch as many films this month as we did last month, but there were some good ones that we watched this month.
I think so. Yeah, I was trying to think about it before we went live, but we just have to go through the list because I couldn't remember everything.
Well, first of all,
we watched a lot more TV shows than movies.
Really?
I feel like. Because, I just feel like, TV shows just have so much more content.
Well, yeah, it takes up a lot. Yeah, for sure.
So, like, I was thinking about, like, what I spent my time watching. It was, like, shows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Mr. Dan in Horror says he's also looking forward to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
I know. Oh, man. I can't wait for that. That's the IMAX one right there, y'all. I'm going to the IMAX for that. I think we already got our tickets, right?
We do.
Yeah, we already got our tickets, y'all. We ready.
Hey, yep. Melissa popping in to say hello.
Hey, what's up, Melissa?
Yeah, so for me, the biggest one I think was probably The First Omen. That was my favorite so far this month for favorite watch, I think.
Okay. Well, yeah, we're gonna get to it, y'all.
Yeah.
So with that, let's go ahead and jump off. We'll go ahead and start this live discussion on everything we watched in April. The first film that we watched, and that's the date right next to the thing on Letterboxd.
The date, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is the first film we watched in April. Let me go ahead and cut to the screen share so y'all can see. And that was this is the third Omen film, The Final Conflict.
Yeah.
Now this is the one with Sam Neill, and it's Damien all growing up trying to do his Antichrist thing, trying to bring the world to an end. It's a full battle, good versus evil, and we rated this one 3 stars. What do you want to add on this one, babe, for the Final Conflict?
I thought this was still good. It was good. A good story, right?
Yeah.
Like seeing him in his full-fledged element.
Yep.
Trying to maneuver and sneak around and do all the like grimy things he was trying to do or whatever. Yep. But I really like Sam Neill's performance in this as well. I think he did a really good Antichrist,
Oh yeah.
But it's just not like my favorite out of all of them.
This one still had good kills too, though.
They did.
I feel like all the Omen movies have decent kills.
They had some pretty good kills in this one, yeah.
Yep. But no, I agree. The concept is cool, like the whole. Even I'll make sure I say this for all the films we talk about. We don't talk about spoilers, so
yeah.
If there's a film you haven't seen, don't worry, we won't reveal any spoilers. But what I will say is that this one has a very interesting finale. With.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting the whole, how that all plays out. But I don't know. The Omen movies are kind of fun. There's good kills. And it's Sam Neill in this one. And, there's a lot of cool little monologues of him
they are
talking to Lucifer, and there's some kind of creepy evil villain type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this one This, you know, we were watching these at the end of March leading into April.
Yeah.
In preparation for the first Omen. But yeah, y'all, that was the Omen 3, the Final Conflict. Check that one out. If you watch the whole Omen series if you haven't, because it's definitely interesting, and we're gonna continue this trend. And
Mike did say that Samuel was the perfect choice for Damien. He also loves our shirts. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Dan Horror said he's seeing Alien tomorrow on the big screen.
Oh man,
we watched it. We watched it. It was great.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
It is on our list because we did watch it on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be I'm gonna have some funny stuff to say in regards to
I'm
Alien.
sure.
But let's go ahead and continue this list, y'all, and continuing the trend with the Omen. The next film that we watched was Omen 4: The Awakening. Now this, I feel like inherently it's spoilery talking about the fourth film.
Well, yeah.
But hey, look, it is what it is. So we got Omen 4, right? The Awakening. This deals with, it's following essentially Damien's daughter.
Yes.
And you know, what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
But yeah, you know, so it's kind of it plays out the same way that the first Omen plays out in a way, like, you know, she's realizing the powers. They still do the whole thing where, like, you know, a maid type person comes into the child's life to try to, like, you know, lead them down the correct path of fulfilling their destiny as the Antichrist.
Yeah.
This one it's funny because we started watching this. This came out in 1991, and we started watching this film. You see, we rated 2 stars, right? But we started watching this, and off rip, we were like, man, this feels like a TV movie. And sure enough, we Googled it.
Yeah.
And it was a TV movie because it felt just like a TV movie. But I feel like that added to some of its charm.
Yeah.
You know, like it made it like funny, but like in a good way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they made sure they keep the pretty sure they brought back the theme too in this one too, right? Yeah, that dope Omen theme. I forgot what it's called. But you know, we rated it 2 stars because ultimately it's not great.
It's not great, but that little girl, she was something else. I liked her a lot.
There
was some good scenes between her and, like, her, you know, her evilness,
right?
Like with the other kids and stuff like that. I was like, this little girl, she's a terror.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. Those scenes were good to me.
But I know what you're trying. I know what you're gonna say now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is kind of spoilers to dive into.
It's hard not to talk to spoil it.
But this one has interesting elements to it. It takes some turns and stuff that are like, oh, okay, you know. But man, I tell you right now, there's people out here riding for the Antichrist hard,
super hard. Mike said he gave a 4 or 3. Can't remember, or 3.5. Between 3.5 or 4, because it was a Lifetime version of the Omen, and Delia was with it from the start, beating kids with lunchboxes. Okay, so yeah, that part was really funny.
It was. She wasn't playing no games. Yeah, she really wasn't playing no games.
She was a terror.
She really was.
Okay, so since Mike's spoiling, so when she walked up that ladder, knowing that little kid was scared of heights,
and
like made him walk up
there. Yeah. She was evil, man. Yep, she was an evil little something.
Yeah, she was.
I don't think I put it on this list. But after watching The Awakening, I did go back after this. You didn't watch it with me, but I watched the remake of The Omen.
We watched it separately.
Did I put it on here? Let me see.
I think you did.
Oh, we did. Okay.
It's up there.
Okay, yep. Well, that is our next film, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get that pulled up because we're keeping this Omen trend.
Okay, now I rated this. Now, I don't know what your rating would be for this movie.
Oh, I did the review, but you did the rating.
Oh, okay. No, you wrote this?
I wrote the review.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Are you trying to take credit for my
No.
I
don't remember. I thought I did the stars. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure I gave it. Okay. I know I did the review. But I think I gave it the rating too. But I gave this one 2 stars as well because, you know, this is the 2006 Omen remake. It's got what's her name?
You know her name.
No, what's her name?
You know her name.
Really? Why are you being funny about it? I can't remember her name.
Julia Stiles.
Yeah. Okay. From the
Save the Last Dance.
Yep, I can't remember.
Thanks, Mike. We don't talk about the remake.
Yeah, and I can't remember the dude's name either. But it's kind of what you expect with like a 2000s remake. It just doesn't have the soul of the original, and it's pretty much a retelling of the original, almost to the T.
Yeah, it is.
Now, what I will say though about, I think I might have mentioned it in the review, is some of the kills are hard. Like some of those special effects were really good. Like the beheading, the hanging scene, like. It looks brutal in like modern times. They killed it with that.
And I can't really.
I'll give it that.
Well.
I was like, damn, these kills is raw. Like in comparison to the original. So they did do good with that, but everything else is,
the story is whack.
Yeah, it's not good at all. Even and somehow the runtime is very similar to the original. Mm-hmm. This felt way shorter. I felt like they were rushing through it.
Yeah, it does feel shorter.
But yeah, this is what you expect with a 2000s horror remake. It's not great.
Yeah.
And 2 stars, I almost feel like it's being generous for this film. Now let's move on to the last piece in our Omen watch-a-thon, essentially, and that's when we went and watched the first Omen.
Yes.
Now you see we gave this 4.5 stars. You can go check our full review out over, on the channel. But this movie was dope.
It was so good.
Like, we love this movie. Like, we walked out of this movie like, damn. Like,
yeah.
That's what I know. I walked out, I was like, man, this is what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah,
this felt like a horror film. That's not to take away from the other horror films that we've watched this year, but I felt like coming out of this, it gave me that feeling that like horror gives you, where you're just like, damn, like I feel weird after watching that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel kind of uncomfortable.
Gets under your skin.
And like the performances were crazy, man. The special effects, the rawness, the graphicness.
Yeah. Oh, I did watch a video. I meant to tell you about this because we talked about this in our review in regards to the NC-17 rating that they wanted to put on this movie.
Yeah.
And so Akasha Stevenson actually said that the scene that they wanted to, or the scene that caused them to want to rate it the NC-17, was the demon coming out of the vagina scene.
I mean, it makes sense because it basically showed.
But I feel like of all the scenes in that one, like, why was it that one?
Well, because movies you can't show.
It wasn't full on.
You can't show like a full on.
It wasn't even like full on.
It was full on.
It wasn't really.
Oh, it was full on.
Well, it wasn't.
It was a lot
enough.
of imagery.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the way that it. Well, obviously, yes, you can fill in the blanks completely of what it was showing, but I still feel like of all the other content in there, like, I don't want to give away too much. But anyways, I feel like there was other content that could have been
more like, it's more like implied. So, with the rating system, if you can't see it, they won't penalize you for it in the ratings.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So like, but if you full on showing stuff, you
still
get
don't
the
feel
penalty.
like it was enough.
You know
I've seen a lot of other things and
that's why you see a lot of films that do a lot of like off-screen deaths or brutalization and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie was dope, and
yeah. Oh, Mike said it was enough.
Oh yeah, see, yeah, it was enough.
Yeah.
But man, like, what's the lead actress name? Is it Nell
Tiger
yeah.
Free?
Yeah, Nell Tiger Free. Her performance
was super good.
Because there's one, I won't spoil it, but there's one in particular where it reminded me of reminded us of the Possession movie, where she was like channeling that.
She was
like that type of like energy, and it was just like It's just this one take that has kept going for a long time, and like I remember you were even getting like
it
super
you
uncomfortable.
have like super pricklies on your arms. Yeah,
you're just like, man, I don't know what she was channeling in that shit, but
it seemed really weird.
Yeah, she was. Hey, she did her thing. Like, obviously they don't really look at horror films for Academy Awards, but I mean the shit she was doing in that was like,
that was good,
like Academy level in my opinion. But the first Omen, y'all, that movie was dope. 4.5.
Now let's Michael said that was the Possession callback with everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it was like so well done too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Baghead.
Yep. Now moving on to the next film, we got Baghead. Now I did not watch this, but you did, so I'll let you talk.
Okay. Well, the thing about this is, earlier on in the year we did like most anticipated movies of 2024, and this was one of mine. I really liked the premise of this. So it's basically about this girl who inherits a pub from her father who passes away, and inside the basement of the pub is like this witch who has the ability to allow people to see their passed away loved ones.
Yep.
I think the concept of that is pretty cool. Like I said, the actress from Bridgerton is the best friend, and this actress on the poster is from The Witcher. And yeah, it was pretty disappointing. I gave it 1.5 stars. It didn't really deliver what I wanted it to deliver. The performances weren't that good. And yeah.
That's it. That's like nothing else to really
Yeah.
say.
I did like the way that it closes out, though, like the ending of it. And honestly, I feel like they're probably like, when they were writing this movie, they were like, oh, this will be really cool if this happened. Because that was like the most interesting part.
The ending was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the most interesting part of the movie. And I actually would like to see someone follow up with that, because I think
like a sequel or something?
Something in that realm or in that universe, because it's really cool. Like the idea is super, super cool, for sure.
Okay. Do you think it's worth? Should I check this out? Or? Okay. Yeah, so you got the 1.5, so I kind of figured like this is a throwaway. And I feel like when we watch trailers for this, way back when.
Yeah, and it also has that trope of because the best friend is black, and she. I don't know it's a spoiler, but you can kind of figure out what happens to her.
Okay. So that was Baghead. Now we'll move on to the next film. It's another film that you watched, Little Bone Lodge.
This was really good.
Tell us about that one.
This was on Tubi. Okay. It's actually called something else on Tubi, and I can't think of it right now. But
Bone Lodge.
It has this really good twist in there. So it's about like this family that lives out in the middle of nowhere. So a husband and wife and a daughter. And these two strangers, they're encountering these two strange men in the middle of the night. And I won't give anything away about this because I think it's worth watching. You should definitely watch this one.
Okay. It's
really good. It's got a lot of, like I said in the review, a lot of suspense, and you don't really know you kind of know something is off, but you don't really know what it is. And when it's revealed, it's like, oh shoot. And then there's some goriness in here, and I don't know. It's good. It was really good. But then it gets to that third act, and then it kind of like, I don't know, spirals a little bit. But it's still good. It's still good.
Okay. I'm going to check this one out then. Little Bone Lodge.
Tubi's actually been surprising me lately. Like a couple movies I've watched on Tubi have been good. Mm-hmm.
Who's Jolie? You said they did a really good job in the review.
The main actress. You've seen her. You have to see a picture of her to know exactly who she is.
Okay.
Yeah, she's been in other stuff.
So Little Bone Lodge, go check out that one over on Tubi. Also,
Mike's not gonna like our thoughts about this one.
All right, let's go ahead and jump to the next film that we watched in April, and that was Horror in the High Desert. We gave this 2 stars out of 5. This was the found footage one. That was like a documentary, right? That was this one.
Yeah, like a mockumentary style.
Documentary thing. This was boring. I thought it was. I think I fell asleep at one point. I'm pretty sure I did actually.
You probably did.
Yeah.
Well, we watched this as 2 separate times.
Yeah,
I watched it first, and then I told AJ to watch it.
He was like, "Oh, you gotta watch this. Let me see what you think about it." I was like, "All right." I put it on, and I'm like, "Damn, this shit is boring." Like
the first part of it is quite boring. Yeah, I think the best part of it is I like found footage, but I'm not like a big fan of mockumentary.
Yeah,
I don't think. So when we finally get like to the found footage aspect near the end, I'm like, oh, this part, I need more of this earlier on in the movie.
I don't mind the mockumentary part, but you gotta give me stuff that like really is like pulling me in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there was just like nothing was really happening.
Well, yeah.
Like obviously they're developing the investigation, but like there was nothing like to get me excited.
It was nice while it lasted. Unsubscribe because he loves this movie.
Really?
Yeah. Mike is the reason why I watched this.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, look, I gotta keep it real. Like I fell asleep. I'm sure I did. I had to rewind it. I think at one point, like because it was just I liked the concept.
Yeah, the concept.
But I feel like
good.
I needed like you got to sprinkle some stuff in to help keep me engaged.
Well, it was kind of like this mystery. It's kind of like, well, what did he see out there? Yeah. And so it was building you up until that last bit.
Yeah. Now the last bit was dope. I get. Yeah. When we got to the last bit when it was like, hey, I'm going to go do X, Y, Z. And it's like, oh shit, okay. here we go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they made they made a sequel, right? It's already out.
Yeah, there's a sequel and then a third one coming out later this year.
Yeah.
Or soon, I think, soon-ish. So we need to watch the second one.
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, I don't know how the second one is, but they did a good job with that last part where I was like, oh, okay, like I'm with this. You know what I'm saying? But I was trying to think. I feel like there's another mockumentary thing that we watched. I don't know. Not too long ago.
Oh, Mr. Dan Horace said Low Lifes on TV. Actually, we did watch that one too, so that one's on our list. Mike said, I'm going to get a tattoo of this movie. That's how much I love it.
Really? Damn. I just don't see it. Like, it's cool, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
giving what you needed to give.
Yeah, it didn't which one was it? Was it Hell House?
Hell House?
That was like one?
They all kind of have. They all have that.
Yeah.
Well, not all of them.
It's not as heavy as this.
Yeah, but the first two for sure had some of those elements. And I do like those. I like the balance.
Yeah,
so I feel like this one didn't have enough balance for me personally. Yeah. It was just too much of the talking to the camera.
Because I'm thinking like, if I'm gonna give you an example, but this is more like real life, right?
Okay.
Like I don't know if you put it on this list or not. I had you watch the Demon House one.
I think I don't know if I put it on here or not, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, because like, you can say whether it's fake or real or not, but they do a lot to keep you engaged with the story.
That was more like, well, yeah, it's a lot less talking to the camera, so you're following a lot of different angles and stuff like that. Yeah,
like they could have even did something like where it's like, oh, this is a dramatic reenactment, but make it, you know what I'm saying, but make it in the movie.
Yeah.
But that's how you do. But that's like how a real documentary is. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
yeah.
Oh, here's a reenactment of X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so they could have even done. They could have showed some sheriffs out there doing some stuff.
Well, I think it was they were going for more of like the realness, right? Like, yeah. That's how I took it, anyways.
Yeah. Okay. We'll watch this. We watch the second one. Hey,
we will. We're not gonna give up, Mike.
Sorry to Mike, but hey, that motherfucker is boring. Like, I gotta keep it a buck. Like, that movie was but the last bit, I'm gonna give you that. The last bit was hard.
Last part was really
that had me on I woke up on that part. I was like, oh shoot, here we go. But let's move on to our next movie, y'all, and that was Hell House LLC. Now,
this is a rewatch.
You went and rewatched it. I did. I didn't rewatch this with you, so I'm gonna tell you right now, it's definitely not fresh on my mind.
Okay.
But you mentioned the basement scene,
That's
and I do remember that. And that shit is creepy. I definitely didn't forget that.
No, never. But yeah, it's still really good. Because sometimes you get attached to stuff and you're like, oh, you rewatching it, like, okay, this was kind of cheesy, but no, this was still really good, still really creepy. And then the ending. It's funny because I haven't watched it in a long time. I watched the last one, the Carmichael Manor one recently when that came out, and the one before that. But I haven't watched any of the earlier ones in a while.
Right, yeah.
So I forgot the ending to it, and I was like, dang, that's good. That was so good.
Yeah, no, the ending is good. The presentation of it is really good. And it's just creepy. I don't think I've seen clowns be as creepy as they are in Hell House.
Really? I think the clowns, well, I guess not moving clowns, right?
What you mean?
Because the clown in American Horror Story is really, really creepy. But you mean like stationary clowns?
I guess, yeah. Yeah. Clowns in the more traditional
right.
That clown is a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hell House LLC, man, that spawned the franchise, and that first one is like a certified classic in the in the found footage space.
Yes.
Keeping with the found footage trend, though, we went and watched.
Because we were talking about found footage with Evil Tyrone, and so we watched a couple different movies.
Some rewatches to refresh the memory going into that podcast. Like that. So with that, this is a film that I really loved that you had never seen before. So I showed you this one.
Yeah.
Did you put that rating up there?
I did.
Oh, okay. Because I was actually go a little higher than that.
I know you would.
Yeah, I would. But we got it combined with our opinions. We just got to sit at 3.5 out of 5. Unfriended Dark Web is like a not related sequel to the Unfriended film that came out. I forgot how many years before this one. It was like the Facebook, haunting type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the dark web one centers around this dude who obtains a new laptop, essentially new in the sense of it's pre-owned.
Yeah.
And he logs into it, and he gets on Skype with his friends, and
he was doing the most.
And weird shit kind of starts from there. And it's one of those films that's like, Searching and Missing and the other Unfriended Host, where everything takes place on a computer screen. So basically the whole film, for the most part, you're looking at the main protagonist's MacBook screen. So you see him going through Facebook, Messenger, and Skype, and the different programs on the MacBook. And it's cool because it came out in 2018, so it's almost like a time capsule in a way to see like all of the social media and the different elements of that
how
era
stuff used to look.
So it's kind of cool to see that. But I love the pacing of this movie a lot, like how the mystery unfolds and you start to learn like what's going on, all the way to like the finale where you're like, oh, that's what's going on. Oh shit.
Mike said he gave it a 4. Dylan Movies, what's up? Thanks for coming in, tuning in. We're just talking about what we've been watching.
Yeah, talking about what we've been watching, talking about Unfriended Dark Web. I agree with Mike. I give it a 4 too.
Well, we met in the middle.
Yeah, because it's just creepy, and like it seems so real, especially when you get to the end.
Why are
feels
you
even
doing
more real.
This? What was his name? Dan or something? I don't know what his name was, but either way, it's like, why are you take the computer back?
It's too late at that point. And then a lot of things happen that keeps him engaged in what's going on.
He's stuck.
Everything's very effective. Like
it's literally a web. He's stuck in this web. He can't get out.
And everything just feels so believable. I feel like that's one thing that's good about all these movies that do this style.
Yeah.
As I think all of them have nailed it feeling real. The dialogue, all that stuff, like is like spot on. This movie,
kind of going back to the Horror on the High Desert one, I kind of think that was a component that kind of like kept me engaged with it. Was like
the real
his
element.
Sister talking about her brother and things like that. Those things felt like real things someone would say.
Yeah. Did she ever get super emotional?
Mike said, choices were questionable for sure. Exactly about this movie, Dark Web.
Oh, sure, yeah. some of the choices were questionable, but
it was like, come on now.
But it's not as dumb as some of the other stuff that we've seen.
On Movie says that he hasn't watched this one yet, but didn't care too much for the first Unfriended.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't.
The first one, yeah, I can see it.
But this, I'm telling you right now, this one is good. It is worth the watch. Check this one out.
Okay.
You'll be surprised. Like, wow, I can't believe I missed this one. Like, I remember when it first came out, I was hyped. I was high on this one, man. It was dope. But all right, let's go ahead and move on to the next film that we watch. And this one is one that's being talked about a lot. There's a lot of controversy around this one. I feel like there is, right?
There is.
I don't pay attention to it, but I feel like there is.
There's
so let's go ahead and reveal what this is. The next film we watch, y'all, is Civil War. We gave it a 3.5 out of 5. But did you want to dive? Well, I'll set up what the film is. I think most people know.
Yeah.
But Civil War was the Alex Garland film that's basically about a civil war within America. There's different factions, and the film follows a group of journalists who are trying to get an interview with the president before kind of everything kind of comes to a conclusion in terms of this war. So you follow their journey from New York all the way down to DC, and they experience kind of how things have devolved amongst these different states, these different groups, and you're going on the ride, and a lot of shit happens. Just it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's very visceral. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the best word for this film. But yeah, that's pretty much the film. I don't know if you want to go ahead and jump into how this affected you, because this actually affected you very deeply.
This one affected me in a lot of different ways. And I know the divisiveness is all around. Like, there's no this group is right or this group is wrong, or clear indications of which side is what side and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying, well, that's not the point of the movie, and that's so that's where the conversation is kind of like rooted around this one right now. Yeah. But for me personally, there are a lot of things in this film I did like and things I didn't like. So that's kind of like where my rating is. It's kind of middle of the road. And I really we watched this in IMAX, so I really liked.
Oh, it looked great.
I really liked the look of it. love the sound. There are some scenes in there where you really like feel the impact of what's going on on screen.
Oh yeah.
So those things I did like and appreciate. What I did not like is there are a couple like gruesome and sad like deaths, and those people are people of color. There are some deaths of other people, but those ones are not as bad, and they aren't settled on as heavy. And I don't know if he was being intentional with those choices, trying to make a point of these deaths are being shown this way.
Well, I can tell you that in that
I didn't
one pocket
like it.
That has a lot of that. It does. That was very intentional.
Which one?
Well, the one
in the beginning
from the trailer with the dude with the glasses, sunglasses.
Oh yes,
that's a very intentional.
Well, what I'm saying is, yes, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. I think those were intentional too. Well, I mean intentional, but the other ones I'm talking about were these choices made for that reason, like for us to see. Okay, normally when we see these types of deaths on screen, they are these types of people. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know if how he was trying to interpret those scenes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No,
but anyways, I didn't really. Those ones hit me differently, I guess.
Oh yeah. I thought this movie was pretty good. I think for me, the aspect of following the journalist was a good idea. But I think it's just not what I was fully expecting, even though I had heard that from other reviews.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, it was more just a choice of following the journalist. Because I actually don't care about the fact that he didn't like pick a side or anything. I think.
Yeah, I don't really care about that.
I thought that was smart. To me, I think that is the point of the movie, right? It's like, here we have a war within America, and sometimes in the film it's hard to tell whose side is which, and I think that's intentional because like. We're all Americans in the context of this film.
Yeah,
they're all Americans fighting, so you can't really tell whose side is who's. Just like, damn, like,
right,
we all the same. You know what I'm saying?
Where it's different, where if there's a war happening somewhere else, where it's clear, okay,
like
we're
clear
Americans,
factions,
and they're
you know
not. Right? Yeah.
And then not choosing a side, I think is also genius. Because I know some people were complaining like oh, like what was the catalyst for this war? Like, why are they trying to, come for the president? Like, what happened? And it's like, that doesn't really matter because ultimately, like, the point is we should be trying to all stick together either way. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really matter what they stood for because the point is, like, no matter what side is which, if it got to this point, this is how it would be. Which is like, like people losing, like, having good lifestyles and the destruction, the loss of life, innocent life, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then people being so radical that, they're desensitized to, like the meaning of life and just living. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So like, I don't agree with any of that. Like, I'm glad he didn't pick a side. I think he handled that shit smart because that shit don't matter because either way, you don't want a war. It don't matter which side is which. You don't want to get to this type of point.
Yeah.
But I think my thing was just the following the journalist. I think watching the trailer, it gave this impression that it was going to be a lot more action packed. So I kind of went in. I kind of went in expecting more like scenes, where it's almost going to be like
or like fighting,
like
scenes?
A Black Hawk Down or something like that, or behind enemy lines type shit, where it's like you're almost always
in war,
in like war threat mode.
Right.
There's not really you get small breathers.
Right.
This movie had long breathers.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like in those ones where it's like man, we on a hunt it the whole movie on the run type.
Okay, so it was just not what you thought it was.
Yeah. So because of that, not saying that was bad.
Right. No.
I think that I just wanted it to be. I thought it was gonna be like that. And I kind of would have wanted to see like something of that element, but it was still very impactful and emotional story. Some incredible scenes. Like there's a part where a character handles a death, and it's like it reminded me of what was the other film we watched that had something similar to that, where there was like silent and they were just like yelling.
Oh, Speak No Evil? No, not Speak No Evil. What was it?
What was that? Because we watched something like that recently where
You said they were silent?
Yeah, it was like silence.
And they were
just like super emotional.
It was Civil War.
No, there was another movie that had something like that.
Oh, I don't know then.
Okay,
maybe we'll remember.
I can't remember, but that scene was like super powerful. Like just for it to be quiet and just to see like the raw emotion. That shit, even that messed me up a little bit. I was like, damn.
Oh,
like,
Della Movie said that they hope to see it this week. So.
What, Civil War?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, check it out. And kind of see how you feel about it. Either way, that's disappointing. That's Alex Garland's final film.
That is disappointing. Actually, yeah.
I don't know. And he had made some comments about, falling out of love with filmmaking and stuff like that.
Well, like, after the way people responded to this, I definitely wouldn't make another film.
That's true. Yeah. A lot of people talk about that, right? Is like how people act on social media about, films, different fandoms, man. They take that shit to a whole new level.
This has nothing to do with films, but the announcement of a Romeo and Juliet, and I think it's a play, not even a movie, where they cast a black woman as Juliet, and like all hell broke loose on the internet. They even gave her like death threats and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's stupid. It's like, man, who cares about that shit?
Yeah.
Like, why are we tripping off of fictional characters?
I don't know.
Who gives a fuck? Like,
Mike said people take it too far. Yes,
they do take it way too. They even act like this shit is their life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna die if.
Yeah.
Oh, why did this person get cast for this? Like, my life's about to be over because I can't process the fact that a performer got cast in a fictional role. Like, what the
wild.
Fuck?
Even the fallout after the trailer with Deadpool and Wolverine, Deadpool, whatever it's called.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, like, oh, he doesn't look right, or this character is supposed to be,
Well, yeah, and that honestly is a whole nother beast. Fandoms, like Star Wars, Marvel, DC.
It's wild.
Star Trek, like all those franchises that have like
mega fans.
Like those franchises will never be able to do things correct.
You can't do it right.
And obviously there's some that are worse than others. Like, I'm not like a mega Star Wars fan, but I like Star Wars, and I can tell you, like, sequel trilogy trash. Half of those shows trash. Like, they're not good. And that's just keeping it real, like, because they didn't really understand what made the originals good. It's kind of like let's take the Omen remake, for example, right? Where there's like, oh, let's do this Omen thing. But they completely are not understanding what made it great. Yeah. So they're taking that approach with a lot of these franchise things, so I get why people get so upset, but they take that shit too far. Yeah. In terms of like taking it out on the wrong people.
Oh, yes. That's right, Mike. The Scream discourse has been crazy. Like, y'all, nobody should be getting death threats over a franchise. Yes, it's getting wild. That is a really great example, actually, with Neve coming back. And if Tavon was up here, his friend Gail Weathers, and like someone even made a tweet, Mike, I don't know if you saw this, a tweet of, oh, like, what if this happened? Like, it was all like a story that Gail was writing, that everything that happened in the past and everything is back to normal type of thing. People went insane on Twitter about that. Like, it was just somebody just directing a random,
and they went ham.
Yes.
Damn.
It's crazy.
I'm trying to tell you, man, people I don't really know what it is. Like, I don't know if people just like sensitive about things to an extent of like they take everything super personal. Yeah. Like, I don't really know. And I think also too with how social media works, like people feel like they are, I don't know, like I forgot what the word is called, but how people get like obsessed with, like, let's say like a streamer or something, to the point that they think they have like a relationship with them. It's almost like they feel like they have relationships personally with these properties and stuff. And so now they take everything personal, like, to a whole different level. When it's like, man, these are just all fictional things. People just having ideas, just sharing.
I mean, stuff. I get loving something a lot, especially as people who grow up with things like the Scream franchise, for example, like, something you've grown up with. So you obviously have a love for it, and you want to see it handled with care, like kind of how I am with Harry Potter. Like, I want those things to be handled with care, and Jurassic Park. Like, I don't really care for the Jurassic World franchise,
but you're not online going ham about it.
No, I'm not. But so I understand where those feelings can come from. But at the same time, it's like, okay, y'all, let's
You manage
dial
it,
back,
right? It's
slow
like
it down.
but that's the thing, right? You keep it civil, right? And it's like,
yeah.
hey, that's cool. You like it. I think it's trash, but there ain't nothing wrong with you liking it. You like
Right.
Jurassic World? Like, it's all good.
It's
Like,
all good.
You know, you like what you like.
Yeah,
but
Mike
it just
said.
was. But it's not for me. You know.
Parasocial relationships are a new level on psychosis.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Parasocial relationships, right? And I feel like social media has caused people to think that they have like they best friends with these producers and directors
Yeah.
and franchise creators, to where like, you know, they taking offense over stuff to like it's personal, like they hurt a family member type.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly. Della movies. Fandom's been out of control. They're just even louder on social media. It gets more and more prominent. Right. Yeah, social media makes everything louder
Yep.
than normal.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it makes it, you know, it gives voice to the, well, it's like the vocal minority, right?
Mhm.
Like it's not as many people saying certain things as you think, but it just seems that way. Because, you know, when I'm at like work and stuff, like most people don't even care about some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we were talking about that the other day.
We
We were
were.
talking about like, oh man, people really talk about challengers out here.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm at work. I was like, I didn't hear one person mention once that challengers even existed. You know what I'm saying? So like the super casual
in
people.
this
don't
world,
be caring
it
about
is.
Yeah. It ain't like Doom. You know what I'm saying? Where like everybody was up on
Surprisingly, it only had $15 million opening weekend, which is not what I was expecting.
Doom. Or were you expecting it to do more?
I don't know, just a little smidgen. Like saying 18.
So the box office came out. I tried to tell you that, didn't I? I told you that. You were like, oh man, this film's gonna be so big. And I'm like, I ain't hearing nobody talking about this shit like in the casual space. Like ain't nobody saying nothing about
Let's move on to the next movie.
this movie. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on.
Oh wait, the other movie says certain parts of some fandoms also take it as a threat whenever personal colors, casting roles they think they shouldn't play. Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
And Mike said people hide behind the keyboard because they would never say half the things they say in someone's face.
Oh yeah,
That's
definitely not.
absolutely
Yeah, they
true.
gonna have a keyboard warrior to the max. Keyboard gangsters. Let's go ahead and move on to the next film, y'all, because this was a interesting one here too, and that was Willow Creek.
Oh yeah.
So this is one that was mentioned to us on that podcast that we did. Was it Queer Demon that mentioned it?
It might have been Queer Demon.
I think so.
LT
mentioned it. And so this is a found footage film that came out back in 2013, and it's basically about this dude who's obsessed with Bigfoot, and he wants to go where they shot that old, I think it came out like the 60s or the 70s, but it's that old, you know, it's a real life clip of the Bigfoot walking.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have seen it. I'm sure everyone's seen it 100 times, but the Bigfoot like walking with the gait. Look, he got on the suit, but he wants to go to the place in the forest area where that was filmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So him and his girlfriend take a trip there, and they're trying to find, you know, retrace the footsteps of the person that filmed it, maybe even see a Sasquatch themselves. And so that's kind of like where the story starts, and then it kind of goes from there. And maybe not. They might see something. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But that is the journey of Willow Creek, and this film was alright. It was okay.
Jim, it was Jim. I was like, this guy don't take a hint. You know what I'm saying? Like he had so many opportunities to like, okay, well maybe we shouldn't go out here. He did anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those ones where all the signs point to not doing something, but they got to make a movie, so you know he's got to go out and do the stupid shit.
Got to make the movie. But the end of this was good.
Yeah. So what really prompted us to watch this was LT had said something about. There's one sequence in here that like the tension is insane, and we can now concur
that is correct.
That sequence,
I had
where they're in a tent, is some of the most
link it up like this
tension-filled shit I've ever experienced.
Yes.
Like, and it's long. It's like a 10 to 15 minute sequence filled with like I'm talking pure, like you can feel the tension in the air. Like you will be gripping, you know, your partner, your blanket, the couch, whatever you got next to you.
I was like, oh Lord, here we
go. It's tension filled. Like the last, what would you say, like 25 minutes?
Yeah,
probably. Of this film make it worth the watch.
I think so.
I think leading up to it, there's a little missteps here and there.
Just a little bit. I just really couldn't get with the characters. You know, for me, I'm all about connecting with the people.
Yeah.
It's for me to care about the story. I just couldn't really like connect with them that well.
Yeah, and that's a big thing with found footage, right? Is you got to be able to
Right, because
connect
to
with the
me it's like
characters.
kind of like, you know, watching your favorite people on a YouTube vlog
Like
or
doing like a
something
vlog or
like that.
something.
You know,
Yeah.
I want to watch these people
Yeah.
carry out their story. Mike says I'm a huge fan of this one too, of course,
Yep.
but I can see why it doesn't hit for some. Yeah, I said we've seen The Exists, and he thinks we would like that one better. We've never seen that,
Yeah, never seen.
so
The
we'll add
Exist.
that
I'll
one to
check
the
that one
watch
out.
list then.
Yeah. But yeah, Willow Creek, dope finale though.
Yeah. It definitely has a good payoff on the end.
Yeah, the payoff is dope. And again, that tension sequence inside the tent is actually some of the best like found footage tension. I think it's up there in like top 10 in terms of like making you feel like tension ridden. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, y'all, let's move on to the next film we watched in April, and that was Abigail. So we gave this one a 3.5. Shit, and the more I be thinking about it, sometimes I might even go higher than that. But this film, of course, this is the one. I'm sure everyone's seen the trailer because they were advertising the fuck out of this movie. But it's about, you know, the group of criminals that kidnapped this little girl, trying to hold her ransom to get money from her father, and they end up getting locked inside this house while they wait to get the extortion money, essentially. But it turns out Abigail is a ballerina vampire.
A ballerina vampire.
And craziness ensues.
Yeah.
And man, this movie's fire.
It
This
is.
movie was dope.
It was good.
Like I'm gonna tell you, I went in there with pretty low expectations, right? Because watching the trailers, and I will say, the more we watched the trailers, the more I got more excited to see it, because we saw trailers so much that it grew and grew on me.
Yeah, yeah.
Vampire on my ass. Like, you know, shit like that.
It was funny. Yeah.
And I was like just pleasantly surprised. I was like, this movie's actually like a good time.
Yeah.
The characters are really good. The chemistry,
Yeah.
the like, you know, the dialogue, the banter. Like each person played their role.
Yeah.
Was Kevin Durant?
Yes.
That's the dude who plays the
Dan
Proxima Caesar in
Stevens
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
all of them.
That
Yeah.
dude was hilarious.
Yeah, he was funny.
He played like the dumb muscle character,
Yeah.
and he was, you know, the butt of a lot of jokes, but it was so funny. Like, you know, and that's one of the things I was kind of nervous about with this movie is with some of the jokes just miss.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But most of them hit, and
I think so.
we were actually in there laughing.
Yeah, we were
like,
laughing.
That shit was actually funny.
We were laughing.
Gore was like
Top tier.
to the max. A lot of blood, like a shit ton of blood.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder what the budget was for just the blood.
Just the blood.
Because it was a lot.
It was a lot of blood. A lot of just, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this movie was dope. What else you want to add to it, though?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, we did a whole review about this, so.
Yeah, this is a full review over on our channel.
I was between 3.5 and 4 stars, but I think for me, the characters were my favorite thing about this one.
Sure.
I just have a few little things I just didn't really like about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what would you have went, a 4?
I think I might actually go 4.
Yeah, I figured that, so that's why I went 3.5.
Because
I think I'm somewhere between that.
Because I think I actually would want to watch this one again.
Oh, Michael said we need a prequel, and I agree with that. I agree 100%. We do need a prequel, I think, because I would like to see, like, you know, the comings of her, like how she got to that.
Yeah.
To that.
I want to see. You know, they kept talking about this whole hotel thing happen.
Yeah.
I want to see that shit happen. It sounds like
that would be really
it
cool.
went
to see.
down in there, and I would
Yeah.
love to see that little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Abigail was a pleasant surprise. Radio Silence, man, they are on their shit.
Oh yeah.
I kind of
They're
want to see them do
definitely
something else
on
in like a MonsterVerse type thing.
You have said
Take
this.
one of these other Universal properties. You know, shit like thing. What's left? I don't know. Swamp Thing. They're already doing. They're doing Wolfman.
That hasn't been done.
You could try the Mummy again. You know, people didn't like the Tom Cruise one. I didn't mind it.
I didn't really like that one either.
That's
I mean,
alright. It
you know,
was cool. I was cool with
I
it.
like the original ones.
Well,
I mean, not the
yeah.
original ones, but you know, the ones with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, those are classic. Imhotep.
Yeah, so I didn't really like that one. But yeah, I think they could do a good Mummy movie.
Yeah, they can do Mummy. They can do Swamp Thing. They can do because you already got Wolfman coming out from Lee Wannell.
Yeah.
Who also did Invisible Man already.
Yes. Which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
But they pushed it back again.
Oh, right.
to January.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way they're going to make it in October.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully this will be a turn of events where it's like a January banger.
Who
You know
knows?
what I'm saying? Like a January banger. 'cause
Who
they
knows?
usually drop off these horror movies in January when they suck. But here's hoping.
Night
but-
Swim.
Boom. Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect example. That movie is. But who knew there was gonna be followed up by Imaginary, which in some ways is even worse in my opinion. I know you don't agree.
I don't agree with that.
But Imaginary was just bad. At
like
least
I would like Radio Silence to go to those very old school camp movies, like Attack. Oh, okay, on the 50-foot women type movies.
Oh, hey, that would be cool.
That actually would be cool.
That's a good idea. Oh, or have them do like a Mars Attacks or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that kind of like camp
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
That could be a lot of fun. They
They
might
actually
actually create some
put-
good jokes and stuff like that. But yeah, moving on to the next movie that we watched in April, y'all, and that's this little found footage film called Dagger. Now, this film is about these two girls who are like
They
social
effed around
media.
and found out.
They did F around and find out. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But there are two like social media like content creators, and their big thing was they would go and like steal shit from people and just like prank people and fuck with people online.
Yeah.
It's a type of content that everyone hates.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But they watch.
But they watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So they made that kind of content, and they were they're going to some, I don't know what the country is. I can't remember. But they're going to some commercial
commercial shoot.
like this like little small crew is filming this commercial out at this like countryside house that's like way out there, and they are posing as a catering team so they can finesse and fuck with them and film social media content. So the story's about them getting out there and then experiencing some weird supernatural type shit.
Yeah.
And it kind of just the whole thing evolves out of that.
Yeah.
This was another big surprise to me too.
Like I said, Dagger was a good time, but you talk about caring about what happens to the characters, but not because you like them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
This is one where you're like, man, I hope they get their ass.
Yeah.
Because they are. It's the type of content, man, that I can't stand. Like, fucking with innocent people, and then under the guise of, oh, hey, it's a prank, man, chill. Like,
oh yeah,
no, like, no, that's not how we do it. But yeah, so they fucked around. They found out here, and but I liked how everything played out.
Yeah,
like I was intrigued the whole time. I'll give them that, and everything felt natural.
Yeah,
I liked how they incorporated like the film commercial and incorporated some of that black and white like Super 8 type footage. I thought that shit was kind of cool.
I will admit that first part I was like, what is going on? Like the way that they were cutting it, I couldn't really understand exactly what was going on. But once things started to clear up for me, I was like, oh, okay, yes, I understand what's going on now. So yeah, but this, like you said, watching everything else unfold after I figured out what was going on, it does get you like super intrigued and invested in the story. Yeah,
and this was one that it was filmed all on iPhones.
Yeah,
and I was like, damn, this movie look good to be filmed all on iPhones. Like,
yeah,
it was just made really well, and I'm sure the budget was tiny. Even the effects were still all right. It was still creepy. Yeah. And I thought the payoff was good.
It was good. I do wish it was a little bit scarier.
Oh yeah,
I feel like it could have. Yeah, like the elements were there for it to be. But overall, I thought it was, decent.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was decent too. And I kind of would like to see more about the lore of, that what was going on out there.
Yeah, so I did post this on our Instagram page, and the director did respond to my review, and he did say that there was a lot more lore, but they had to cut a lot of that out. Okay. So I understand, but I would love to have seen more of the lore because that was really cool. Like, the idea of that was really cool.
Yeah. And this is one of those examples too, where it's like, seeing them make this film at this level with the tools that they have, it's kind of inspiring to be like, damn, it's like hey, anybody can get out here and make a film.
Let's
like,
make a movie, y'all.
So I love to see stuff like that where they make a film using, technology that everyone has, right? And being able to create something good out of it. So it's like you can create good stuff with memorable moments, creepiness, good characters, and use stuff that you got in your pocket. Yeah, obviously I'm sure they had maybe some other contraptions on there, color grading and and on the post production and stuff. But still, like, that's kind of inspiring. So hey, y'all get out there and make y'all horror films for real. Moving on to...
Oh, sorry. Mike did say something about Dagger. He's like, without spoiling, the lore needed to be talked about just a little bit more for the twist to hit harder. Oh, yes. Yeah, I agree with that. Yep. I think that's probably what it was. It seemed like it just wasn't all the way there, But yeah, if we had a little bit more clarity about that lore and a little bit, we could give more of a gut punch, I think, for sure.
Was that the film where they're doing the chanting?
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Yeah. Okay.
Was that from this one?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
That was from this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, what are they saying? Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it was.
I was walking around that. Listen to this, y'all. I was walking around the house this morning, and I was like, I was like, wait, what's that from?
I was like, I don't know. What is that from?
Because we didn't watch so many different movies.
Yeah.
Sometimes you watch it back to back, and sometimes you get confused on.
Yeah.
Okay, which supernatural movie had this chant going on in this one? I think it was that one, wasn't it?
It was. It was. Yeah, because they were the only ones that were chanting, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But you only gave us 3.5 stars in this next one?
I did.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about the next one because I actually love this movie a lot. I can't believe she gave it 3.5. So we are going to talk about.
Why you got the mic up?
I don't know. I'm just hyped. Disappear Completely. Now she gave it a 3.5. To keep it 100, I'm probably going 4 to 4.5.
Wow.
I like
4
this
to
movie
4.5.
I don't know what it was about this film specifically, but from the first moment it starts, I love the way it was shot. And I commented right off the rip. You did. I was like, whoa, damn. I think actually I was like, this is a Netflix movie?
You did. You said that.
Yeah. Interesting choice to shoot in the 4:3 format, but it worked for the style of the movie.
Yeah.
I loved like the way it looked, like the color grading of the movie, this kind of like flat feel. I feel like kind of worked with the environment and the culture that they're working with.
Yeah.
The performances were all excellent. The lore of what was going on, I think it's dope seeing like other like culture, legends or magic or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So dealing with, like the witches, like because this takes place in Mexico, right?
Yes, it does.
And it's just so like that type of stuff was just interesting. And just the way the story played out, and it was also kind of graphic in some points.
Yeah.
And then some of the creative choices from like the visuals and audio, like and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but as you get into the film, certain dynamics change with how they present you the movie, and you are experiencing it the same way the main character is. I thought that was just a dope choice. It's creepy and it's just excellent. Like this shit is gonna be probably like definitely my top 10 this year.
What?
It might even be higher.
I am shocked.
This movie is good.
Y'all, I'm shocked.
Like I cannot believe how just well done. And I'm sure this movie probably had a small budget.
Probably so.
And they killed it with that. But like, I mean, damn, this movie was good.
I'm really shocked because you're much more like hard on movies than I am. So I'm really surprised.
This one was special to me.
I see.
And you remember I was fully locked into this shit.
You were.
She could tell you like she knows when I'm really like
right.
Like I think a movie is good because I'll be like locked all the way in.
If he's sleeping or walking around the house, then he's not engaged.
All right. Yeah, if I can get up and do something,
yeah.
Oh yeah, the movie lost me. It's over. But if I don't even want to like look down. And I'm getting hot because like all this shit going on in the house. And I'm like, damn, I'm trying to watch this good ass movie. I mean,
I obviously liked the movie. I think I just had some like small critiques with the story itself.
Okay.
It was just some stuff I just needed a little bit more from.
Yeah.
And I mean, I really liked the main actor. I think his last name is Torres. I can't think of his first name. That plays Santiago. Like you obviously don't like this guy, you know what I'm saying? Like the way he treats his girlfriend and the job that he has.
He's so career focused to the max.
Yeah, he really
give a fuck
is.
About nothing else.
And so obviously when these things start to happen to him, you kind of like, okay, oh well, like that's what you get type of thing.
So I didn't mention it, but like for those of you who don't know what Disappear Completely is. Like,
we didn't talk about the story.
Yeah, the story.
I'm sorry, my bad, y'all.
No, that's my fault. My bad, y'all. But because I was just so hyped to talk about it. But the film follows this
Santiago.
dude, Santiago. He is a what do they call those papers?
Like a tabloid.
Like
photographer.
a tabloid, like photographer for a paper, right? So he tries to get to the scene of like fucked up crimes first, so he can snap photos to go on the front page of these tabloids. And he ends up photographing a specific person, and after that happens, like all this weird shit in his life starts to happen, like supernatural related type of things. And then the story just goes from there as he tries to figure out what is happening with his life, and is it a result of the job that he's performing. But I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't even want to give nothing else away. This is one you just got to experience yourself.
Mike said he gave it a 4. Michael Anthony said I have to finish this one, and Mike was like, "This one hurt my ears. If you know, you know." Yeah, that was that was crazy.
Yep.
Dylan movies being fully engaged in a
choice.
film is the best. Yes, this one definitely keeps you engaged.
It locks you in, and it don't let go until it's over.
Yeah. I've been recommending this one a lot though, only because it just recently hit Netflix. I think it came on there on like the 12th of April, like this month, and so promoting it, getting it out there so people can notice it. Because I'm one that don't really go to Netflix to watch horror movies.
Nah,
yeah, I know there are some good ones on there from past years, but like as far as like new ones, it's very rare that we get a good one on Netflix.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been go check this one out.
Yeah, this one is, every once in a while, I'll see a movie that like affects me in like a creative way. And like this is one of those ones where like you watch and you be like, damn, this shit made me want to make a movie.
Oh, look.
That's how it made me feel, I was like, damn, this shit is good. Like, but what's so special is it's good in such a low key way.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a lot of effects. Obviously there's some good. They are good effects, like some of the gore, like makeup and stuff like that. But in terms of like the contained story aspect,
right, yeah,
and just like this feel, like it's just something special.
I see you smiling hard about this
it's
one,
like
y'all.
Like this shit was just dope, man. Shout out to the director, man. You killed this shit. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I think this junk was hard. Like I don't know. This is his first film, right?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Because I think didn't you try to look up to see what other films they had done? I thought you did.
Yeah, I can double check. Mike said he only goes to Netflix to watch Incantation.
That's about all they got, really.
Yeah, that's a really good
They might
one.
have some, some licensed movies from some of these other
studios, right? Yeah,
but they definitely don't have no good, no good original stuff on there for the most part. Now you just go up there for documentaries and some of their original series, like Three Body Problem and shit like that.
Okay, so he's done a couple other movies, but it looks like this was his first horror movie.
Oh,
and I say couple, like 2, and
like
they're from previous years, like 2014, and they're Mexican films.
Okay.
So
but this is only horror.
This is the only horror movie.
I'd be curious to see what those other movies are like, because this one was man, this movie was dope. I love this movie.
It was really good.
Yeah, I gotta watch this one again. But Disappear Completely, y'all. Check that one out. Check that one out on Netflix if you haven't. It is in Spanish. I know some people just can't. Some people can't handle reading So I have no idea why, but some people can't handle reading subtitles. Y'all got to get over that shit. There is a lot of good foreign.
I know some people have reasons for it though. There are some people that have reasons. Like one of our good friends,
Well, yeah.
She has.
That's understandable though.
Yeah, dyslexia.
Like if you got dyslexia and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense, right? I'm talking about the people that's just lazy.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I ain't reading no subtitles. But there's no other reason,
Yeah, no,
like for them not to watch it.
Physically hindering.
Yeah, from there's nothing physical here hindering them. There's kind of like being ignorant a little bit to the fact of like, hey man, like you gotta embrace some of these foreign films and just watch it and put the subtitles on. Shit, think about all the Hollywood films that get made and they watch it overseas and they watch it with subtitles.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
But anyway, we'll go on to the next film here. This is one that you watched, El Conde. You want to talk about this?
Oh yeah, so this one was one that was suggested to me to watch after I recommended Disappear Completely. This is another one that is. I'm not sure if this one's. No, I don't think this one's Mexican, right? No, it's not. It's something else. But it's about a real life person who was like a dictator, very bad person. And this is kind of like a satire of what if he was like a vampire. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's supposed to be funny, I think, but it's kind of like dark satire. So
it's like dark humor stuff.
Yes. Okay. It's not that. And I know I've read about this movie too. Like, there's like controversy about the fact because this person was a really bad person. And in this movie kind of implies, oh, well, he's still alive somewhere because he's a vampire type of thing. And he's done really bad things.
Yeah, I can see people getting upset about that.
Yeah, for sure. But and I'm not familiar with this director either, but I guess his other films are also kind of like in that same vein.
Okay.
But this one is in black and white. I do think the performances were really good. Like whatever they told, this world they've created, I think they definitely hit the nail on the head with it. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, sometimes stuff just doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I think I had heard of this movie, but I wasn't super familiar with it. But yeah, that's it. That's El Conde. Gave it 2 out of 5 stars.
Yeah. Della Movie says people walked out of the theater when they realized Godzilla -1 was in Japanese.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's actually wild.
They missed out on such an amazing movie. Oh my goodness.
Yep, I'm not surprised by that.
Mike, you said, was El Conde Oscar nominated? He said this was Oscar nominated. Maybe that's what he's talking about.
El Conde? I think it was actually.
Oh, really? Well, it wasn't for me, y'all.
I think. That's crazy though. That -1 walking around that. I'm trying to think of how you wouldn't have known
that it was in Japanese.
Because even the trailer's in Japanese.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But maybe they just never saw the trailer, and maybe they're one of those people that just go to the theater and be like, "Oh, there's a Godzilla movie. Let's watch that shit." You know.
My dad's like that.
Yeah.
He don't watch trailers.
And speaking of that, let's talk about that real quick because we were in the theater watching Alien on Friday, and this happened when we went and watched. What was the other film we watched tonight? Hereditary too.
Oh yeah.
But because we're in the movie sphere online, right? Like we, for the most part, catch most trailers to drop out, especially for bigger movies, right? But we were surprised that sometimes when we sit in these theaters, they have a trailer that comes on, and there'll be people next to us who'll be like, oh my gosh, they're making that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And their first experience watching this trailer is in the theater, and they had no idea that the movie was coming out or that the trailer was released.
Yeah.
That happened Friday with
Alien Romulus.
Yeah, Alien Romulus.
The guy next to me, he was like, "No way."
Yeah. And I was like, man, could you imagine that feeling of like, you had no idea a new alien was coming out. You're sitting in the theater like, is that the aliens? Like, alarm? No, whoa. Could you imagine that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then it was the other one was the Beetlejuice trailer.
Yeah.
There was a woman that was sitting next to you.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh my God, it's Beetlejuice."
Yeah. And so it's cool that that there's that level of like casual fan that they ain't looking for trailers at all.
Right. Yeah.
And they just go to the theater old school style. Hey, what the trailers you see in the theater, that's how you saw them.
That's how you see it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Look at that movie.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool though. You don't really get that experience as much anymore unless the studio wants to show a trailer with the new movie that came out. Think about like The Exorcist Believer.
Oh right, yeah.
They showed the trailer first in front of Oppenheimer, and then they released it online. So it's like kind of the only moments. That's a cool experience though, to see it first in the theater like that.
True.
I think it's kind of dope.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to the next film we watched. This is one that you watched. I'm surprised you rated it this low. But this is the 90.
You're surprised I rated this low?
Godzilla. I thought you liked this movie more than that.
I rewatched it and I was like, wow, this is trash.
Was it John Cusack in this one?
Who is John Cusack?
I can't remember who. I thought he was the main person in this.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, I watched this with our 7-year-old, soon to be 8-year-old, because he's on a Godzilla kick right now.
Oh yeah, he consumed.
It's super heavy.
He went and watched Godzilla Cross Kong, and now he's
addicted.
That's all.
It's literally an obsession.
This dude
right now.
listening to the soundtrack of Godzilla on his
YouTube.
phone.
Yep. Yeah, walking around the house.
Yep. Mega fan.
He's like,
I got the shirt, so I mean, like, I get it.
He's like, this song makes me feel so emotional.
That dude is hilarious.
I was like, what? But yeah, so he wanted to watch this one because he's never seen this. I don't know, but yeah, no, this was bad. Like the performances, the dialogue, and it's not even Godzilla. It's really like dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's more of like a dinosaur. Look up the cast for this one.
Okay, but yeah, I was like,
but yeah, this movie does have some cool effects though. There are some moments in there where the effects are really cool. with this, you know,
Now, I'm
Western
gonna tell
version
y'all
of
how
Godzilla.
I know that this wasn't good, because when we watched Skull Island, we watched what was the other Godzilla? We watched a lot of
Godzilla vs
Godzilla.
Kong, Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Me and our kid, he sits down and he's fully like in it. He's playing with his little Godzilla toys and everything. But when we were watching this, the last half I was watching by myself.
All right. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of that has to do with this is a different version of Godzilla. You know, in those movies, Godzilla's cool. You know what I'm saying? In this movie, Godzilla's the big lizard. That's
yeah. I don't know who you're talking about, but he's not in this movie.
Oh, okay. I was trying. I don't know why I thought it was I don't know.
You talking about this guy, Matthew Broderick? And then this one guy, and then this dude named Hank Azaria. Okay. Yeah, I don't know who you talking about.
I don't know why I thought he was in this joint. But anyway,
yeah.
I haven't rewatched this movie.
How dare I?
Huh?
He said, "How dare you? How dare you?" He said that I didn't like the Godzilla babies. No, that was crazy.
Oh yeah.
Dylan movies Godzilla 98 is ass. Matthew Broderick is the main character.
Oh okay.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, this movie, obviously I haven't rewatched it in years.
Well, yeah, you rewatch it. Maybe you'll feel like how I feel.
I never was a fan of this version.
Oh, okay,
so like that's why I have no interest in really rewatching it, because it just didn't look as cool, right? Like this was like a...
Oh, okay, that's who John Cusack is. He's in the Identity in 1408. Yeah, no,
yeah.
That's not the same guy.
Well, I told you I haven't seen it in a while. So I thought it was him in this joint.
Oh, yeah. No.
But... Unfortunately, that shout out to that. I rewatched that recently. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But now this.
You go, Michael Anthony. Matthew Broderick is from what's his name?
Which one?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I couldn't see the whole comment. For some reason, this thing is being blocked. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That guy.
I'm with you now. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you
now. But you know, it's cheesy.
Yeah.
That woman that plays the reporter in there, I was like, where did they get her from? Like,
yeah. Like I said, it's got some cool moments. And this it breathes fire, right? This thing breathes fire.
Don't get me to lie. I don't remember. I do know that's, you know, they had all those eggs inside of the...
Cause I know that doesn't have an atomic...
Madison Square
I know it doesn't
Garden.
have atomic breath like
well,
regular
you know
Godzilla.
He pointed that part out very clearly. He's like, where's the atomic breath? Like, they ain't got it in this one, baby.
This is a different version. Yeah, this is the Godzilla with all the cool removed out of it.
Right. Mr. Dan Fam, your son is awesome. I still sing Godzilla music all the time. Yeah, like, he is legit.
Yeah, he's all
deep
the way
into it. He's watching all these YouTube videos.
Yeah, he can't wait for -1 to come out and streaming
every day. Is it May 1st? Is it May 1st?
Yeah, because
no.
Because I told him that the atomic breath in -1 is like one of the best atomic breath in any release.
I'm interested in seeing how he's going to respond to that one, though, because I try to tell him it's not as much of Godzilla in this movie compared to other movies. I don't care. I want to see the atomic breath.
Yeah, it might be just one of those parts where he just wants to fast forward. He'll tune in. And let me know when he shows up, because when he does show up, it's fire. Like, Godzilla goes ham in that movie.
Mike said this Godzilla I will give credit because it feels like this was the inspo for Cloverfield. Really? I mean, I guess I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
In the streets and stuff.
Cloverfield was handled way better than this was.
Yeah.
But Cloverfield was dope. I haven't seen that in a while, but I remember that came out. That was like early 2010s, 2009.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And I just remember, like, man, I was so hyped. Like,
really?
I was like, oh, what?
I wish I had seen you be hyped about this.
Man, like Cloverfield, because I was already a big found footage person anyway.
Yeah.
And this this style of movie, and then it being like this monster movie, just the destruction and like
a little bit different take on it. Yeah.
This is like, damn, this shit is cool. Like,
Mr. Dan Fam, I'm buying the physical copy of Godzilla -1 ASAP. Yeah, that's definitely worth getting.
That is worth the 4K Blu-ray.
Yes.
Hopefully it features all versions, the black and white one as well. That would be really dope. They're definitely going to have to make I think they already mentioned that they're going to make a sequel to -1 that with the same director, but that director was already contractually obligated to do something else, I think, first.
Okay,
and then he'll come back to it, which is fine, because I think it's good to take breaks. Because when you try to do stuff back to back, I think it's when you kind of falter, because you're, as a creative, right? You're probably like, man, I want to do something else. You know, so you got to take a break from something. All right, now I'm going to come back to it.
Like, what's his name?
Which one?
Lights Out. The
Oh.
director of Lights Out.
Oh, David F. Sandberg.
Yes.
I think that his next film, which I think is a horror film.
Yes, it's supposed to be.
I think it's gonna go really
I
hard.
hope so, but I feel like he spent too much time away from horror.
Well, yeah, because those, I mean, superhero movies are really big.
Yeah,
so they
take a long
all
time.
your time.
Yeah.
So hopefully he goes back to making smaller horror films
Yeah.
that are contained, and he can just kind of not pump them out, but do more of them on a better frequency.
I'm
I
excited
can't
about
wait
that.
to see whatever his next film will be. That's gonna be really dope. But moving to the next film, I think it's the one that you watched, right?
Yeah.
Called Low Lives. Tell everybody.
Yeah,
about
Mr. Dan
Low
and Horror
Lives.
mentioned this one earlier, but yeah, so this is another Tubi movie.
Tubi.
It's basically about two different families. One family's on a road trip. This other family kind of comes into contact with them, and that's all I'm gonna say. It's really great. It's crazy. Okay, so it's a Tubi movie, right? So obviously it's a little bit low budget, and with the writing itself of the story, you can kind of like instantly, especially people like us who watch movies all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we can instantly say, okay, I know exactly what's happening with these dynamics right away. You kind of pick up on it within the first few minutes. But hang in there, because I even said that. I was about to stop watching. I was like, oh, I already know what the twist is.
You gotta hang in.
You gotta hang in there because it gets crazy. And I'm not a slasher person. Like I don't really like these type of movies. I'm more like found footage, paranormal, possession. That's my supernatural is like my type of style.
Yeah.
But this one surprised me. This was good.
Okay. You think I would like this one?
I think you would like the things that happen in it.
Okay, so I would like things to happen in it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out then.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Okay. All right. Well, moving on to our next film here is another one that you watched.
I was on a Tubi kick. I was on a
Festival
Tubi
of the
kick.
Living Dead.
I still need to watch Slay, which is also another one on Tubi that a lot of people recommend. So I'll get to that one probably next month. Mr. Dan Fam, good performances and low lives kept it going. Yes, it did. The performances kept it going. Michael says this movie has one of the best horror quotes in a long time. I won't say it because it is a spoiler. Yes, it is a spoiler.
For Low Lives.
Yes,
Okay.
It is one of the best ones
I'm
I
going to
heard.
watch this one then.
I think I actually put it in my review, my written review. But yeah, that was good. But yeah, so Festival of the Living Dead. This was interesting. This was by the Soka sisters that they also did American Mary on. Or I think that's the name of the movie. Have you ever seen that one?
Which one?
I think it's called American Mary.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, anyways, so this one is supposed to be connected to Night of the Living Dead. The main character is like the great granddaughter or something of Ben.
That's kind of
And
cool.
yes, the concept is cool. Apparently they got, approval with, using that connection.
That's dope. Okay.
But yeah, so it's about this girl, her friends, they go to this festival and some kind of like, I think it was like some kind of meteor or something happened where it caused all these people to turn into zombies and they're trying to stay alive.
Okay. This is kind of like okay.
It's kind of okay,
not
yeah. There was some action,
Yeah.
Kill scenes. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Festival of the Living Dead, you was really on that.
I was like, oh, what's next? Because you know how Tubi, when the movie goes off, it goes immediately to another movie.
Okay.
And
So
that
you
was
just
the
let-
next
you just
one.
let it ride.
Yeah, I just let it go.
Let it play.
Let it play.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Della movie says they like the Soka sisters. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I gotta check out.
Okay,
this
this
other
next
movie.
one is yours, boo.
Yep, this is the one that I watched, and this is The Coffee Table. You see, I rated it 4 out of 5. I did like this one a lot. So I watched this one because you were like, "Oh, I can't do it," and it's funny because I didn't really know nothing about this film, but you were like, "Oh, can you just watch it?" I think I watched the trailer.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay, it looks interesting," but I didn't know anything beyond that.
Right.
And I knew you just said that it was supposed to be disturbing.
Right.
You couldn't watch it, so I'm
I was like,
okay.
yeah, you watch it first and then let me know if I can watch it.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, well, I like disturbing shit, so
Yeah.
I'm all in. From once you say that, I'm like, I'm all right, I'm in. But this film is about this couple just recently had a baby, and they are at a like furniture department store. There's this coffee table that the husband sees, and he really wants it for whatever reason. Shit is ugly, but he really wants it bad. So he ends up getting it, and a certain tragedy ends up happening in their life, and then it's pretty much about the husband kind of dealing with or processing this tragedy for the rest of the film. This film, man, it is tension filled in like an anxiety kind of way, like because once the tragedy in this film happens, you're just watching the character experience and like handle and process this.
Yeah.
So you're always on edge to kind of see like how is this shit going to play out now that this has happened. And you're basically like always gripping the chairs and you're like, oh shit, like
yeah,
because there's a lot of like juxtaposition between the tragedy and like a lot of like positive shit from other characters, and I can't. It's hard for me to even explain it good without spoiling the aspects of it. But just know that like something horrific happens, and then it's just the character dealing with it for the rest of the movie while you're watching them process this and try to figure out how to navigate this shit. And it will make you feel like you're gonna get fucking heart palpitations like as you're like just seeing what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I was like, that's all. That's the best way I can. That's the best way I can describe it. You will feel like you need to be hooked to an EKG machine because, and I put that in my review as well, because you're so anxious to see like how is this gonna play out?
Yeah,
and then it finally gets to the finale, which is massive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In the devastating kind of way, and it's an experience. It's definitely not for everybody because it is disturbing in what occurs, and just seeing the emotional turmoil that is processed throughout the movie.
Yeah,
it is a lot. So it's not gonna be for everybody, but I really liked the movie, and it was because it was very effective. If that's what they sought out to do, they nailed it.
Yeah,
because I was like, this shit is, even I was like, man, this shit is a lot to handle. Like, I feel like I'm about to have an anxiety attack trying to handle this shit right now.
That's all I need to know that I'm not watching it. Mike says I'm dreading watching this one, but I need to. Nope, I'm not. Y'all can have that.
It's definitely, if you like this kind of stuff, like if you like, it's definitely in the category of disturbing. Not there is some graphic elements to it, but it's very minimal.
Yeah,
you don't see a whole lot, but it's more about because the performances are really good.
Yeah,
so it's more about the emotional turmoil aspect and like, damn, what if this happened to you?
Yeah, and
just like that type of emotional disturbingness.
I can't do it.
It's a lot, and I'm like, damn, like first of all, I don't even know how the fuck they even thought of this. Like, I'm just something like how you write this. Like, I got an idea. What if this happens? It's like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this movie is an experience. I recommend it lightly. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure you can handle like these type of disturbing movies. But it is good if you can handle that. Like all the stuff that the movie says. There's some really powerful messaging in this movie through character dialogue about, parenthood and love and, just kind of like reanalyzing stuff and listening. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfucker should listen to his wife. That's what he should have did. That's what he should have did. I'm just going to put it out there. He should have listened to his wife. But, the coffee table, that's a good one.
I don't think I would like it, but Sheree really got me wanting to watch it. Oh, yes. Miss Sheree is the one who kind of like spearheaded this whole like recommendation wave of this movie.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. She is, but she gave us the warning, Mike. So it's up to you. It's up to you. Yeah. I just know I can only handle certain things.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to handle this because, you're the kind of person that's like, okay, let's hurry up and get to the end to see how this is gonna play out.
Yeah, because
this is very much one of those movies where you're like, how is this gonna play out? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it takes the whole movie to get to that point.
Yeah,
you know
see,
I mean?
I can't do that.
You wouldn't have been able to handle
I'd be too stressed.
At all. Even if I felt stressed, it would have been like 100 times max for you. Like, that shit was crazy, but. It's something I
know my limits.
I'll tell you right now, the movie's memorable. I will never forget this movie ever. It'll be 30 years from now. I'll be like, you remember the movie Coffee Table? That shit was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will never forget this movie. But anyway, let's move on to another disturbing movie, but in a different kind of way.
Mike said, if you can handle this, what I'm hearing is you can watch the Sergei Paco movie that Jaleesa had mentioned.
Oh, okay.
I'm not watching it, but AJ could probably watch it.
I put like I could almost watch anything.
Yeah,
I've watched.
He'll watch it.
I've watched some just horrific stuff. There was that one movie. It was like 180 Days of something. It was an awful movie, like in the sense of like the horrificness of it.
Right.
I felt it was so horrific that after it ended, I felt like I need to take a shower. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
bad.
It was bad, you know, like some Human Centipede 2 type, that director's cut type shit, where you're just like, this is nasty. This movie just nasty. Like, I don't even feel good watching this shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe you should check that one out.
I have to
so
watch
Mike
that.
can let it go.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'll try watching that today then.
Upstairs by yourself?
I'll wait till nighttime.
Oh, okay.
Like whenever I go to bed.
Let's be clear.
I'll wait till everybody go to bed and then watch the shit. That's what I've been doing for them. I've been watching the first season of them. You know, I'll be waiting till you go upstairs to bed and stuff, so you don't get impacted by it.
No. I figured out that I'm just not emotionally stable enough. Like when you were watching that one scene, and I was even just hearing it makes me sad.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
Yeah, I got some. I don't know if people still talk about that first season, but I got some feelings about it.
Well, yeah, because I think some people are still going back to watch it, like to refresh, and then also like people who may have skipped it the first time around are rewatching it.
It's up. I'm not done with it yet, but it's definitely not as good as I was hoping. I put it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the choices that they made are weird, and I'm not even talking about the time period shit. I'm talking about the other shit, like the supernatural shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to the next film that we watched. Now, we're getting back to some really good asshole. I'm talking about masterpiece level horror, and that is Hereditary. You see, we gave it the 5 out of 5.
Yes.
Because this movie is just like it's just excellent.
It's
like
a great movie.
Literally every facet of this movie is excellent.
Yeah.
The writing, the visuals, the camera work, the effects, the performances is on a different tier.
Yeah.
Toni Collette's performance is like,
Oscar
I don't even know
worthy.
if she didn't win an Oscar for this shit.
Have.
This is that her performance is on in terms of like horror films that we're used to, right?
Right.
It's on a different caliber.
Yeah.
Like her that little monologue she did in the grieving counseling thing.
Yeah.
That shit was like, it was really happy. Like she was really going through the shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then obviously
that was a good monologue too. It tells a whole lot about the characters,
right? The
background, and she didn't know it.
Yep.
But she told us a whole lot in that monologue.
Oh yeah, a whole lot. You know, a lot of things that help you connect the dots.
Yeah.
Then of course,
this movie is good.
After the tragedy, you know, her performances then.
Man, like, where she was in that floor.
Oh, that shit was so real. Like how she was like rocking like that back and forth. I was like, this is hard to watch.
I can't take it.
I hadn't seen it in a while, but I was like, damn, I hadn't forgot it, but it was just hard to see it.
Oh
and then we watching it on IMAX.
It was so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I feel like watching it in the IMAX really changed my perception of everything.
Yeah.
Just like the sounds of things, the emotions, like even the visuals, like small details of things you can't see on your TV that you could see on the IMAX. You know, it's just like everything to me kind of changed after watching it that way.
Yeah.
That really affected me.
That shit is rough. It's hard to get through that shit, and even the way, you know, Peter's character reacts to it is like that part where he's just standing there and listening to his mom sob. Like, that shit was hard to watch. I was like, damn, man, like.
It was terrible.
This family's so broken now, and you know, because he's broken with guilt, she's broken with just heartache, like. Yeah. And even when the dad finally has his moment where he just breaks,
man,
because he's been trying to hold on. That dude was trying to be the rock for the family for the whole movie,
and he was just like,
and he finally just
the dam broke.
The dam broke, and then I was just like, damn,
that's tough.
This shit is rough.
Mike said, original script, best actress, best film, best score. It should have been nominated for all of those.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree 100%.
Odell Movies had mentioned The Sadness and Inside. He recently felt like that watching those, like how you felt like about needing to take a shower after. The Sadness is definitely one of those. I was just like, this is too much.
Oh yeah, The Sadness was fucking crazy.
Yeah,
that shit was insane.
He also says when that scene after the party happened, it felt like all the air had been sucked out of the theater. Man,
yep,
for real. Because it's like, who would have ever expected that to happen? Even rewatching it, I kind of like braced myself for it.
Yeah, because you knew it was coming.
And you know it's coming, but it's still like hearing that thud.
Yep. and him pulling off and just like he don't even know what to do.
Yeah, and I really like the camera work in this movie, but that scene, like you're seeing it from his eyes, him like starting to look up, but he doesn't look all the way.
Yep.
Woo, man.
Yep.
That
he
is
just kind of like he's frozen.
Yeah.
He's like,
and then he just starts to drive away.
He starts driving off. Like he just pulled up and just went to
bed.
Went to bed.
What else can you do?
And he couldn't go to sleep. He just laid there. And next thing you know, you just hear the mama screaming. Like,
then that was really good. I like the way they did that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we're with the mom seeing her discover the body, but we're with Peter hearing how his mom responds to finding the body.
Yeah.
That was dope. That was a good choice.
Yeah.
Michael said that was one of the craziest moments in the theater with the audience I've had. Yeah. Just silence.
So this one, the first time we had ever watched it was when we watched it on like after it had already came out of theaters. We watched it at home.
We didn't watch it in theater.
Back in maybe 2018, 2019 or something like that. We watched it at home.
Yeah.
I remember when that moment happened. You remember? We actually paused it.
Yeah, because
I think I got up and walked out the room like this, like
what the heck?
Oh no! Like what the fuck?
What the heck?
We paused that shit. Had to
yeah.
We had to take a second to recalibrate.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. What the fuck? I did not see that shit coming.
Not at all.
We needed a moment after that.
That was tough.
But the finale of this is crazy. It's so creepy. All the
super creepy
naked people standing around, hiding.
You were like, it's a lot of Peter Pans out here.
You know, a lot of meat action at the end of this movie. Ari Aster got to turn it down a little bit.
Just a smidgen. That's a smidgen. It was all hanging out there. That was funny.
But yeah, in this, it's. Even afterwards, we were researching, trying to remember.
Because I was trying to understand a lot of the pieces of things, and I was obviously right about all those things, and he tried to tell me I was wrong, but it's okay.
I didn't say you were wrong.
You were like, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I
didn't say you was wrong. Though.
I was right,
and I was like, I didn't say you was wrong. I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know if it happened that way,
but it does.
Yeah.
Della movies. There should have been a back-to-back Best Actress Oscars for horror with Colette. Yes, and Lupita Nyong'o the next year for Us. That's true.
Yep.
Yeah. But horror don't get no love out there,
I do have some questions about this movie. I guess, this movie's old enough that I guess we just kind of talking about it.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a part after that thing happened, with the car and, the symbol was on that.
The pole.
So I was wondering,
it's kind of like
was that all preordained?
No, I think it's more so just letting you know how deep this cult is in this area.
Oh, okay. So you just think it was just? Do you think that they put that there after the fact, or you know what I'm saying, or was it they just got it on all these poles? They probably got it on
all the poles out there. Even the people at the place that I don't know if you recognize that, but the people at the place where she was going, the grief counselor, those people were also in the cult. That cult was everywhere.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't even see that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
The cult was heavy.
I knew it was deep. I didn't know it was that deep.
Dilla movies. Ari Aster equals naked old people.
That is very that is true. Actually, that's a very good point. Yeah, you gotta have some naked old
Michael,
people.
And who knew he's the same director that did Strange Things About the Johnsons? Yeah,
that is him.
That is him.
And that little short movie is. That shit is crazy.
You showed me that.
I did show it to you because I was like,
my man been corrupting me since the beginning.
Well, I showed it to you because I was like, first of all, I thought I'm sure this was intentional, but I thought it was so genius to use a black family because you just couldn't envision this happening with the black family if we're just keeping it real. So that was the most genius shit. I'm gonna use this black family to make it even more hard hitting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that shit was just horrific. But yeah, that is Ari Aster. I think that was like a film school project or something that he did. But yeah, I wish he had that on a higher quality release.
Why? We don't need that.
I think it would be, you know what I'm saying? It's a good piece to the collection.
We don't need that. We don't need that.
You don't even see nothing. You just do a lot of hearing of shit. And it is horrific. You know what I'm saying?
It was enough.
The concept is just wild.
Yeah, it's really wild.
I don't know how the fuck he came up with that.
I don't know.
It was effective. But moving on to some more greatness. We did a watch along recently, and it was for Sinister.
We
so
did.
Of course we had to add that to the diary on Letterboxd, y'all. It's sitting at a 4.5, which I'm cool with that. I'm alright with that. I mean, it's almost at that level, but it's not quite there. But it's close because just like Hereditary, there's really good dialogue in this movie. A lot of the conversations between him and his wife are super good. Like especially when she finally finds out like where the fuck they.
Oh
at.
yeah,
like,
that scene when they're arguing,
right?
That was a good scene.
That was so well done.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I forgot who said it, but who was that was like, man, while we were watching the watch along, they were like, it's crazy that this shit is Blumhouse.
It's probably Mike.
Mike said it. Hey, like that shit stuck with me after that. I was like, damn, this shit really is Blumhouse Productions. Yeah. Like, how the fuck we go from this? Because this shit is excellent. Like, it's creepy. This shit's kind of old, so I'm assuming everyone knows what Sinister is. But if you don't, you know, it involves Ethan Hawke's character, who is a true crime writer. He's trying to write a new book, and typically what he does is he moves into an area where a crime happened, and then he, you know, tries to, you know, write a book about it and figure out what really happened or whatever. So lo and behold, in this movie, he moves into the daggone house where the crime happened, and he starts trying to write this new book. Yeah. But some supernatural shit starts to happen after he finds these home videotapes of family murders, and then it gets crazy from there. Yeah. But this film is just so dope.
Say, yeah, it was me.
Yeah, okay, I figured. Yeah. And man, this film is just dope. It's creepy in all the right ways, from the audio, the performances. Ethan Hawke's, like, he's so believable. Like, in terms of like seeing shit, like those moments where he just like looks away and he's like, I can't even look. He's like, drink. His hand was shaking. He's going to like take a sip of that drink, and like there's some cool, you know, like direction in terms of like how they shot certain scenes. Like when something was really horrific was about to happen, they cut to like his glasses. You can kind of see it in the reflection. Just some really cool choices with some of the shots and the composition, audio, of course. Yeah, there's a big selling point with this. It is just creepy all the way around, from the sounds on the tapes to the music that's playing.
Yeah, and the music was really good.
Yeah, and this film has
and the way the Bughuul looks.
Yeah, Bughuul is creepy.
Mandela movies,
some great scares.
Is excellent. Yes, it is.
It's just good. It's just a good ass horror film. This is one that really like put Scott Derrickson on the map for me. Yeah, which is why I was so hyped when he did Doctor Strange, the first one. Yeah. And that's why I was so disappointed when I heard he wasn't on the second one. Still, Sam Raimi did his thing, but still. Yeah. But you know, Scott Derrickson also did the Black Phone, which is dope.
And you know, you can see flavors of Sinister in the Black Phone movie too.
Yep. But Sinister is so dope. It's so dope that we even read the script for it, just because it's like one of our favorite, definitely one of my favorite horror films. And just to find it, I took some stuff out of there that I was surprised about. But man, this is just a classic. This would be one of my all-time favorite horror films forever, man. I love this movie a lot. It's disappointing the sequel was just straight trash.
We gotta watch that again because I don't remember it.
I don't remember it either, but I don't think I want to. You know what I'm saying? Because back then I wasn't even like a big film aficionado, right? Like I just liked watching shit. So if I know me back then hated that shit, I can only imagine how I'm gonna feel about it now. You know what I mean? Yeah. But either way, Sinister is just an absolute classic. This is what Blumhouse used to be about.
Used to be
back in the day.
Ain't no more.
Like shit, this came out a year after Insidious? Because Insidious was 2011, right? Yeah. This shit came out the next year. Like they were just dropping hit after hit.
They were
banger after banger, man. Like,
oh yeah, that's right. Ethan Hawke was in Black Phone too. I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And he was freaking hard in that. Like his character. In Black Phone, that one scene when he sat at the daggone door.
That shit was scary. I ain't gonna lie to you. That whole mask.
That was good.
That shit was creepy.
Oh, Dylan Movies hasn't seen The Strange Things About the Johnson. He said his daughter told him about it though. Yeah, I won't say don't watch it. I don't want to say don't watch stuff, but it's just be prepared to feel really weird after you get done watching it.
You will feel weird. It's worth watching though. It's about, I think it's like 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's super short. Like it's super
30
short.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's 100% worth it. You can probably find it on YouTube somewhere. The quality probably be shit.
Yeah, sure it's on YouTube.
Watch that shit, man. I'm telling you, it's something special in the weird kind of way. Yeah. Like, cause you have never seen nothing like it.
No.
I feel like
I
that's
don't
the
never
thing
want
about
to see
Ari
nothing
Aster.
like it again either.
Every time Ari Aster drops something, you ain't never seen nothing like it.
Yeah, like Beau's Afraid. I've never seen anything like
nothing.
that.
Never seen nothing like that.
What else has he done?
So well done.
No, something else.
Yeah, no, he did Hereditary, Midsommar.
Midsommar.
Yeah, and you didn't watch that one.
I haven't watched all that. Yeah, I watched pieces of it.
Yeah, you gotta watch that one.
No thanks.
Yeah, that shit is also fairly weird. But yeah, so that's a cool thing about it. It just does weird shit. I think that's why a lot of people was kind of put off from Beau is Afraid, because he had been doing these horror films. You know what I'm saying? And then
you can't say that his stuff isn't in like. I got sucked into Beau is Afraid. Like, it was not.
And it
wasn't
long.
a bad movie, right?
And it was long as hell, but in a good way. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you wanted to.
Oh yeah, Munchausen. I heard about that one, but I've never seen that.
Yeah,
it's another short, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think this is the new project that he's doing right here, right? Yeah, Eddington. Eddington follows a small town New Mexico sheriff with higher aspirations. It looks like he's kind of going away from the horror thing with this one, but Joaquin Phoenix again in that new film.
I like when directors do that, like consistently work with actors, and I feel like it makes the movies better.
Yeah, because they have such a good like working relationship, a good like director performer chemistry, and like at that point he knows how to work with them, right? So he knows how to get the best performance out of them.
Flanagan with all his people.
He always
uses the same people.
Yep, even in the movies. But yeah, y'all. I don't want to hold us too long.
Oh, yeah,
let's jump to the next movie.
Go ahead.
And the next film is Infested. Now, this is one I only saw bits and pieces of, but I know you watched the full thing.
I did.
Cause I had to go to work. But
This is really, really, really good, y'all. Like, and I do not do spiders. I don't do bugs. Period. I'm not an outdoorsy type person when it comes to like creatures. Right, but this was really good. Now the director of this. And I didn't know who he was when I first started watching it. I was like, I bet you he's young because of the way that it comes off. It's got like that youthful vibe to it.
Yeah.
And I did look it up, and he's going to be doing one of the next Evil Dead movies.
Cool.
But yeah, so it's about this kid named Caleb who buys like a exotic spider that he knows nothing about, brings it back home, and the spider gets out. And then, things happen in this apartment building that he lives in, and the characters in this are really good, especially Caleb, the star. Like the development of you kind of like feel like these people, and the music, man, I was like, I ain't never heard no French rap, but this is fire. The music is really good.
I don't know about like that French drill scene, but that UK drill scene, that shit is hard.
Well, this was pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you just relate to the people, and when this group experiences all these different things, obviously you want them to get out of this building. There's some, social commentary kind of like woven into it, but it's not super heavy. There is one scene in there that I didn't really like, but I get it. I understand it. It was like kind of like a police officer kind of like beating on one of the characters. But it's very short. It's not like long. So I did appreciate that it wasn't like drawn out.
Yeah.
But the pacing was really good. Like it wasn't like any kind of moment where you're like, okay, can we get to some action here? Like it was never like that. Like it hits the fan pretty quickly, and then it kind of like evolves into this insane fight basically for their lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really beautiful movie to watch too. Like it was really shot really with care and intention. You could tell like he cared about making this movie.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. I want to go back and finish this at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember you watching it and being pretty absorbed into it.
I watched this one right now. Like it's on Shudder. So definitely check that one out if you haven't already.
Yep. All right, so we're
made it to the end.
Yeah, we're making it to the last film that we watched, and this is one that we just watched on.
Mr. Dan Family had woven into it, and then got a spider emoji in the
web.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Come on, hey, look, but we got our last film, y'all. This is the one we just watched on Friday, and that we mentioned earlier, and that's Alien, the original from 1979.
Yes.
From Ridley Scott with Sigourney Weaver, and this film
in her little underwear.
Yeah, tiny like. That shit was hanging on for dear. Like that shit looked uncomfortable, honestly.
It kind of did look uncomfortable.
Yeah. But of course, it's the '79 original that kicked off the whole entire franchise. We went and watched this in the theater because they did the
45th anniversary.
45th anniversary this weekend at a lot of theaters.
I know a couple people said they're still, watched it yesterday, going today.
Yep.
So y'all out there enjoy.
And it was just cool to watch this, in a theater. It was packed.
It was packed.
That shit was like. I was honestly surprised. I mean, obviously,
packed.
I knew there's fans of Alien, but that shit was full.
It was deep.
I don't think there was an empty seat in there.
Nah.
And but for good reason. This is a classic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is an excellent film. I hadn't seen it. It had been a few years since I've seen it. So I kind of forgot how slow it is in the beginning.
Yeah, it's a little slow.
It's a little slow.
And we were tired.
Yeah.
It's been a long week.
So we
shouldn't have went on Friday. We shouldn't have went on Friday.
Yeah, I was
we
tired as
probably
hell.
should have did a Saturday watch.
Long week.
And it was late. It was a late showing.
But I think what was so special about this though is like it's so timeless.
Yeah,
like watching this, I was like, man, this looks really good.
Still looks good.
Like the effects, the design choices for the ship, the Nostromo, the internals and the panels. Like everything still looked really good. The dialogue was funny.
Yeah.
I know me and you were both kind of like, man, why do you make the black dude only care about money so much?
He kept
That's
saying
all he
it.
talked about.
He was like, so we're gonna get some more shares for this, and we're gonna
Yeah.
do some. If
Now,
we do this,
hey,
we get
look,
some more shares.
now what you think about the full shares now? Can I get the full shares?
Can I get the full
Can I get
shares?
we can get the full shares. We can help them out real quick. I want the full shares though now. Yeah. I was like, damn, bro, like, why they make him only about money? But he ended up, taking on a larger role and helping, and that did create some funny moments when she was like, oh, all you say is right, everything you say, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? But the concepts of the alien, like from the face hugger being wrapped on, like, man, the special effects
were awesome.
Like this shit
when that stuff started happening with the face hugger, I almost forgot that this was made in 1979.
Because it didn't really look like it in some aspects.
Good.
Yeah. This is definitely like a 4K remaster or something.
Yes.
The quality was like
Della Movie said Alien
yesterday.
is a classic. Yes, it is.
And but the face hugger scene where it's sitting on the dude while he's laying in the medical bay. Obviously the chest burster scene at the the dinner table was that's a super classic, and it looks so good. One that I always remembered was when they realized that Ash is their android. And he knocked his head off.
That was crazy.
That was done so well.
It was good.
And even when the head's on the floor and he's talking, like that effect was like really disguised really well.
Yeah.
And obviously the alien itself. Who was the actor that was in the suit of the alien? Because the black dude.
Oh yeah, he's Nigerian, I believe.
Yeah, because I can't remember his name.
Thanks, Mr. Danfam. Thanks for tuning in. Della Movie said Yafa Kota was standing on business. He's the actor who plays that guy.
The Parker dude.
Yep. Mike said we watched some bangers this month. Yes. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in for real.
Who am I looking at?
The dude who was in the suit for Alien.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to him because he made the alien very creepy.
His name is Balaji Badeo.
Yep. Balaji killed it playing.
He passed away in 1981. He had sickle cell.
Oh wow. Oh okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Rest in peace to him. But he killed it in the alien suit. He made that creature alive and very effective in its creepiness.
Super creepy. I think the most creepy one was when he was inside of that.
A little side
yes.
thing.
I was like,
yeah.
He was super creepy.
Hand come out. And it made it. And it was shot so good because they had the lights flickering and just made it look super realistic, like the alien. It was creepy as hell.
Yeah, so good.
And the choice to, zap him out of, suck him out of the airlock holes and stuff like that. It's just an all around like classic, really good film. It kicked off the franchise. Got the sci-fi horror elements. We don't really get to see that a whole lot. Not even in today's times. We get some here and there, like Event Horizon and stuff like that. But it's just something special, man. And I'm excited for Alien Romulus.
Yes.
Because I wanted to mention that. I'm glad I remembered. Before the film started, they actually had an interview between Fede Alvarez and Ridley Scott, where Fede Alvarez is actually talking to Ridley Scott about making Alien. And that was such a cool conversation because Ridley was going into just the process of making Alien. So given some of the information about how certain things were made,
because their budget was small.
And he actually referenced stuff like, I didn't have the shit that George Lucas had, you know what I'm saying? And he's talking about
that was funny.
He also referenced the other horror movies of the time, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Omen,
The Exorcist,
and it was just a cool conversation between them two. You had the old school and the new school, and it was cool to see Fede Alvarez just being so humble and admiring Ridley Scott, and obviously he had really inspired him as a kid and stuff. And then Ridley Scott was even giving him his props for Alien Romulus,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually got input from Ridley Scott on this, and even Scott was like, "Oh, you got something with this right here."
Yeah, so you hype for that.
Yeah, which made me even more excited, And we got some brief behind the scenes shots of Alien Romulus in that interview. They cut to some set pieces and some of the filming that was happening, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I was just more shocked at all the stuff they did, like for to create some of the things in Alien, like that junk was just kind of crazy to think about considering the times. But that was a cool conversation.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more things like that. But yeah, that was Alien. Of course, we gave it a 4.5 because it's almost damn near a masterpiece. But I do feel like it's a little slow in the beginning, just a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, that's all.
That's it, y'all.
Yeah, that's all we watched in the month of April. It's technically not over yet, so we're gonna watch some stuff today, probably.
Probably, yeah.
And then in the next
Make sure you
couple
follow
days.
us on Letterboxd.
Yeah, follow us over on Letterboxd. I'll bring the screen back up, but here's our Letterboxd. You can go follow us on there. Of course, we try to rate everything that we watch to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see for the people that are tuned in, and for the people that will be watching this on the VOD afterwards, and I think I mentioned this on the last one. Would y'all ever want to see something like this for like TV shows?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, we don't always get to the ones that drop right away. But I'm going back and watching them season 1.
Yeah,
I think that'd be kind of fun to talk about.
We're watching Shogun. Oh yes, Three Body Problem. We did finish that.
Yeah, we finished Three Body Problem. Working on Shogun. Almost done with the Monarch show.
We started Baby Reindeer.
Yeah, we started Baby Reindeer.
So there's gonna be some stuff we can talk about next month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a lot of TV shows out there. Just let us know if that's something that you'd be curious. And obviously, it's a lot more difficult to keep up with TV shows than a movie. Movie just 2 hours. Average. Yeah. A TV show, you gotta get through
it's long, like Shogun.
10 hours.
Oh my God, 10 episodes and they each 1 hour long.
Yeah, Shogun is a lot.
We're behind,
but it's fire.
But it's good for him. I'm just
excellent.
Interested in this.
Oh right, she just like the romance between old buddy and
Mike said we want to see anything y'all want to put out. More in love with horror. God said thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And Della Movie says enjoy the rest of your day. Great stream. Thanks for everybody who tuned in. Mike, Unofficial.
Y'all.
I can't remember the name of Mike's podcast. He started a found footage podcast.
Oh, really?
I'll have to find out the name of it. Or if you're still watching, Mike, just drop it in the chat. Delon Movies, thanks for tuning in. Mr. Dan Fam, thank you so much for stopping by. And Mike from the Scream Kings, thank you so much for popping in.
Shout out to the Scream Kings.
Yeah, and I told you Corey popped in earlier from Wilkie's Movies and Music.
What up, Corey?
Melissa, thank you so much for stopping by as well. Thanks for everybody, and whoever watches on the replay, thank y'all as well.
Yep,
appreciate everyone.
Yeah, we appreciate all y'all. Make sure you like this video. Comment. What films you watched in the month of April.
Yeah, let us know what you guys watched.
Yeah, because maybe y'all watched some stuff that we missed, and we would love to go back and watch.
Fear the Footage. His name is called Fear the Footage.
That's
so
dope.
Definitely
Fear
check
the
that
Footage.
out.
Go check out that podcast from Mike, y'all.
Yes.
But yeah, let us know what you watched in the month of April. Let us know what you look forward to the month of May. There's some
definitely
dope stuff coming out in the month of May. We got Tarot next week coming out.
Tarot, yeah.
We got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Can't wait to watch that film. And there's some other stuff coming out in
I
May
can't
too,
think right
that
now.
I can't, my brain ain't really there right now, but there's quite a bit of content coming out. So let us know down in the comments what you're looking forward to watching in May. There's also some dope video games coming out too. I would like to stream because Hellblade 2 comes out.
Oh yes, Hellblade 2
in May as well, and I would love to stream that as well. I'm playing the Callisto Protocol right now. I don't know if anybody's ever played Dead Space, but it's kind of like that.
Oh, cool. And I saw the TV Glows also coming out.
Oh, coming out in May too? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're also checking out some film festival stuff next month too.
Let's see. Seattle International Film Festival.
Yeah, something like that. But we're gonna watch. We're gonna try to make it to In a Violent Nature.
Yeah.
And then what's the other one?
It's called Upon a Nightmare.
Upon a Nightmare.
Yes, and we got I Saw the TV Glow too.
Oh yeah, I Saw the TV Glow. That one's gonna be, I think, kind of an interesting, more like artistic, like one, but it should be kind of fun. I think
so too.
But a lot of dope shit coming up in May. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Stay locked into In Love with Horror, because this is what we do. We talk about horror, whether it be on the TV side, the movie side, or the video game side. Make sure you subscribe so you can join us in that conversation, y'all. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. And we out.